Hey guys, it's Jacob. How strong is a hand in 6-card PLO? This seemingly simple question is quite complicated because the game has so many starting combinations and small details change the strength of the hand. Of course, so far there isn't a 6-card PLO solver, which means we have to work with models that are derived from other PLO solvers. And of course, my over a decade of high-stakes experience. The good news is that with over 20 million starting combinations, precision is less of an issue. The most important thing for preflop is to avoid making huge blunders. So that's why this is the easiest way how you can become very good in 6-card PLO. When examining the strength of the hand, a good starting point is to calculate hand versus 100% range equity. Then we can rank all hands accordingly. So this basically ranks all hands according to their raw equity. We have so-called raw equity model this way. This model is tricky, as raw equity is only half of the story. The second half of the story is playability, or in other words, the ability of the hand to realize its equity. We will talk plenty about the playability part, but for now, let's omit this part and focus on the raw equity ranking. For example, Ace, Jack 10, 9, 8, triple suited hand. This hand obviously is one of the strongest hands and it's top 1% of all hands. On the other hand, 7-3, deuce, single suited is by far the worst hand you can tell, and that's why the ranking is basically bottom 1% or 100th ranked. Let's move on. How would you rank these two hands? Queen Jack 10 9 8 5 single suited, a lot of connectivity. Ace King Queen 10 7 3 single suited. They are both 50th rank. So it's a good chance that you overestimate the hand strength of these hands. Most starting hands are double or triple suited, which puts single suited hands at big disadvantage. If we exclude aces, one of the best single suited hands is Ace King Queen Jack 10 9 single suited, so ace high rundown, which ranks only at 17 ranking of all starting combination. So you can see how having double or single suited hands is a big deal. You know, early position is supposed to raise around 17% of hands, which would make this hand a borderline early position open. So remember, single suited hands are easily dominated by double and triple suited hands that comprise 80% of all starting hands. How would you rank these 9 high clean rundown? It's double suited hand with perfect connectivity and the ranking is 65. So 65% of starting combinations have higher equity against 100% range. So that's very surprising. While it's double suited connected hand, it still doesn't rank very high, and the reason is that in 6-card, many hands are ace high and king high combinations that are dominating this hand. This means that hand does not have the ability to make strong two pairs, but also, and this is important, its suits get dominated easily. So because so many hands are double suited and so many hand high hard cards, these low suits massively lose in EV. So don't overplay these type of hands. What about this next hand? What's raw equity ranking of Ace King Jack 7 3 deuce double suited? 35th ranking. This is pretty crazy, despite the fact that the hand has 3 broadways, clean ace high and clean king high suit. It's not doing very well. While clean king high suit is still quite valuable, the issue with this hand is that it's missing connectivity. In other words, the potential of making high straights is not very good. The fewer gaps there are between all 6 cards, the more potential straights they can make. Additionally, 7x, 3x and 2x are low cards that do not make any strong combinations. flopping weak top and bottom or bottom two pairs is nothing in 6-card preload. That's why I consider low cards a major anti-component, as these only hit weak made hands. You can examine here how the ranking drastically changes when we change the 3 for a 9. Suddenly the hand is in top 15% of all hands, and when we change also the 2 for a 5, it's top 4% of hands. That's pretty crazy. Out of this, we can derive a rule of thumb. Generally, ace-high combinations that are 5 connected cards are a strong hand, while 6 connected cards are very strong hand. So this first hand, 5 connected cards, and this second hand, 6 connected cards. And why is it important to know what's the ranking of the hands? If I know that one hand is top 15% of ranking, it's likely I can open it from early position where we opened around top 17% of hands. On the other hand, if one hand is top 35th ranking, I definitely cannot open this hand from first two positions, and it's questionable if I should open this from cutoff where we play top 30% of hands. Now let's move on. Because so far we went through a lot of ace-high hands, it's not enough. We need, let's say we are in a late position like cutoff or button, we need, on the button we open 45% plus hands, we need expand range. And that's why we, of course, expand for second best hands, and that are king-high hands. And similar principles apply. So here we have two hands, and again you can see you have 6 connected cards, like very clean king-high suit, 6 connected cards. It's 10 ranking. So this hand, very good open from any position. Good 3-bet as well against wider positions. On the other hand, the same hand, you see this exact same suit, and you change the 5 for a 2, suddenly it's a garbage hand. It's like you only play with 5 cards. With this in mind, what is the rank of these hands? So we have king, queen, jack, 10, 6 deuce. What do you think? I give you a couple seconds. And not surprising, is doing pretty bad. Why is that? We also need to be conscious of the suits. So that's why 6-card preflop is complicated, because there are so many combinations, and we have to build this muscle of considering all these small details, and eventually this becomes second nature. In 6-max, an ace-high suit is obviously very valuable. A king-high suit in 6-max is also very valuable, but already queen-high suit is often very dominated, and you shouldn't really consider it a strong component. So when you're opening and you have hand with queen-high suit versus king-high suit, it's a huge difference. It's a difference between the hand being a good open from early position versus the hand being a terrible open from early position, and so on. So that's why we have to be conscious. So far we named that we need high cards, we need connectivity, and suits are the last piece of the puzzle. And the same hand now, when we change the dangler for a 5, where we got 6 connected cards, suddenly jumps by 20 ranks to top 20% of the hands. Still not quite good to open from early positions. You can see that the only way to offset the lack of high suit is with exceptional connectivity. And when I talk about exceptional connectivity, it's 6 connected high cards. I'm talking about high cards. Broadway, your hand must have Broadway cards. 6 connected low cards, as we already examined, is a garbage combination. What about these next two hands? Wow, top 15%. So we already know that ace king jack 9 7 deuce with clean suits is a pretty strong hand. We have 5 connected cards and a dangler with clean ace high suit. Not surprisingly, the version with a bad nut suit drops significantly, and the reason is its crown component is nerfed, is weakened. This nuance is very important to consider especially when you're playing narrow range like early position race first 3 or 3-bet. This is a big issue for this hand that suddenly major component is not clean. And the reason behind that is that yes, you reduce your own outs, but also that means that in the deck there is more outs that can help your opponents. And this is a big thing in 6-card pillow and common team. We will talk about it more. Here's some other variation of the hand and the ranking. We see the clean version with Jack high suit, drops a little bit, questionable if we should open from early position. Other version, it has clean ace high suit, but not clean king high suit. So actually it drops also quite a bit, but not quite as the ace high suit. Lastly, when both suits are not clean, the hand is just terrible, not doing very well, and we should probably fold from a cutoff as well. So you can see how the seemingly same hand comes from very good open from early position to fold in cutoff. And lastly, triple suited hands. What is the ranking of this hand? Ace, 9, 7, 6, 4, 3, triple suited. So for 5-card guys or 4-card guys or no limit guys, this is quite mind-blowing to have this hand. And I see people overplay this hand all the time. So I already give you some clue. The ranking is 40. Let's dive deep into that. Triple suited hands are 10% of all starting combinations. Some of these are the very best hands, of course. That being said, low suits are useless. Low suits are easily dominated, and the third suit is more of a complement to the hand as opposed to a strong component. We still need high connected cards for a very strong hand. The way how I like to think about triple suited hands is that I imagine what's their double suited version. And would you really play its double suited version? How useful is 6 high suit? Not very useful, especially in 6 mag, so don't get tricked into overplaying these hands. Triple suited hands are also strong in heads up spots where you can actually utilize your low suit a little bit more. We will talk about this in further videos.